What's up, everyone? So I just got back from my family vacation in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It was amazing. Some of you may have seen that video where I did my Northwoods training session. I gotta be honest with you, I'm pretty weak right now, and not just because I've changed my mentality around training, but because I haven't really lifted anything heavy in a substantial amount of time. So today I'm gonna go in, probably do 2 or 3 snatch exercises and then squat and try to haze my legs into growing. I'm talking, ABC special on fraternity brothers hazing their pledges type of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm gonna lock these legs into the basement, make them drink warm keg beer while listening to endless Taylor Swift. That's the type of hazing I want to do to my legs. I don't even know where I'm going with any of this. I'll see you guys at the gym. All right, so usually when I haven't been weight training a lot, hold on, I gotta turn on the lights, or haven't really touched heavy weights, I basically try to do a lot of volume and a ton of warm-ups. But I think today I'm just gonna do snatches, just up to something that feels nice, and then I will do hang power snatches and then snatch deadlifts, and that will be my whole snatch session. After that I'll do back squats, and what I usually do with back squats is something like a pyramid style, and this is mainly when I'm just out of shape, which lately these days I've just been out of shape all the time. So the pyramid will be like this. It'll be a set of 20, but it's gonna be super light. A set of 10, a set of 5, and then a set of 3. And then if that set of 3 feels good, I'll just keep building. Just keep building up until I get to something that feels decently heavy, and then I'll do a few drop sets, and that will be my squat session. After that, I'll probably just do some leg accessories and then get out of here. Pretty cool thing about Adam's gym is that he's got a really wide selection of barbells. We have the Rogue EU bar, which I really like. This Vaughn weightlifting one is pretty cruddy, so I'm definitely not using that. This is a women's weightlifting house bar, but we do have a men's. This is the Pendlay 2013 bar. I did so much lifting on this bar. I think this is the bar where I snatched like 120 for the first time and everything leading up to that. This one, I don't know whose this is, but I'm not gonna use it because it's wrapped up. This is Adam's Aleco Russian bar. So this is really cool. It has these clips on it. So basically they're like auto locking clips, and they do this cool little rattle clinky clinky thing. So yeah, this thing is actually really cool. The oscillation feels different, but I don't lift enough weight right now for that to matter. This one is one of those ones that I'm definitely not gonna use, the Klokov bar. It spins crazy, like pretty ridiculously. The Pyros bar, Adam got this one because this is the bar that USA Weightlifting uses at their national competitions. Another women's weightlifting house bar. Another Pendlay. This one's 2009. What? 2009. Here's the men's weightlifting house bar. I don't know which one I want to use right now, guys. All right, I went with the Rogue EU bar. I like how it spins. I really do like the feeling of it. The knurling is actually pretty worn down, but still grippy enough. I'm not going to be doing clean and jerks, so it doesn't really matter. But I have had a lot of success with this bar. I really like it. But what I'm going to do for the warm up here, some of you may not have experience enough to do this, but I think once you get working in weightlifting and long enough, you'll start to get the hang of this, and you can just basically just start warming up. I know it sounds crazy, and I've given people a lot of tools to start warming up before. I talked about the low squat in one of my videos. Check that out. I have a ton of different warm-up movements. But today, I'm literally going to grab the bar, put it on my back, just kind of wiggle until I get into this low position. All I'm trying to do is just kind of feel solid in my feet. Pull my knees out to the side, and one thing I'll start doing is working my ankles. Just like this. Maybe go back, stretch the hamstrings, come back down. Stretch the hamstrings, extend, pressing behind the neck, working on my elbows, trying to keep my wrists from floating back like this, right? We want to work on this position. So stacking the wrists, feeling really strong in the upper back. Press, come back down, overhead, squat again. All right, feels pretty solid. Come back up and press. And now we can start working the overhead squat. From here, I can actually raise. Again, feel a little bit in this position right now. I need to get a lot more warm. But usually that's kind of my style of warming up. And I'll do a lot of that with just the barbell. Then I'll start working in a barbell warm-up. Also, I'm not wearing any shoes. I usually do all of my warm-up stuff shoeless, because I want to warm up my feet, warm up my ankles. You can't have blocks for feet and you can't have blocks for ankles. All right, so after that, kind of just basic warm-up stuff, I'll start doing stuff that's more similar to the snatch, but it still has the intention of being a warm-up. I'll do like a muscle snatch variant from 3 different positions along with a SOTS press, or I can just mix and match all these different things. But again, it's like a long warm-up complex just to get loose. So I'll have my feet nice and wide, muscle snatch and squat, bring it down to my back and press, then I'll stand. Then I can go down to my knee, muscle snatch, squat, press, stand. Then I can bring it down to mid-shin, muscle snatch, squat, press, stand. So now I'm actually going to move on to like actually snatching. So anytime I'm going to start moving loud feet and using my hips, that's when I'm going to put on my shoes. Right now I'm doing just extra ankle work, with calf raises, because I have really stubborn ankles and really stubborn feet. And so they need to be very, very warm before I snatch. So before I put on my shoes, I always ask myself, are my ankles and my feet, are they ready to now be passive, turn on kind of intuitively rather than struggling with my ankles? So I'll usually do calf raises, and I'll start kind of rotating with my feet down like this, just pulling them underneath and stretching the front of my ankles, maybe do some ankle circles, because this is where it all starts. I don't know, maybe in my development, I just basically never really trained my foot and ankle, so I just developed really shitty ankles. So it's just a constant battle for me. But I feel as though if I warm them up well enough, I can get what I'm supposed to out of them, and I don't have too much of a disadvantage. This will be intervals of 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which is plenty of rest, but I want to be very technically sound in all of these lifts, but I also want to be kept on the clock, kept on a rhythm. I would highly, highly suggest using a clock, whether that's on your phone or whatever. I'm lucky enough to have this awesome Rogue clock that has intervals, but I would suggest doing that. Did that work? There we go. So on these lighter sets, I'm gonna do no hook grip, 90 kilos. I'm gonna add in my hook grip, and then everything beyond that, I will use straps. The reason I like warming up with no hook grip is because I get a really good feeling for the bar. When you start adding in the hook grip and adding in the straps, you start to get a little bit more loose in the hands and loose, which can be fine. But again, guys, I feel out of shape, so I need as much as I can get. Up until I get to I think it's going to be 90 kilos. I'm going to just do triples with a pause in the catch. Pause in the catch for the snatch is incredibly helpful. Typically, when you're out of shape or just not feeling solid in the snatch, it's the hip contact to the catch where we start to struggle. If you create this kind of rule, you don't get in your own head. All you're focusing on is making sure that you pause in the catch. While you're pausing in the catch too, you're really warming up and loosening your absolute bottom position. I cannot suggest this enough. I've actually implemented this with one of my lifters with really good success. Pausing in the catch during all of his warm-ups, even during competitions, he'll be warming up, and then he went out and PR'd his snatch. So it's something that you should definitely try doing. Just pause in the catch for a couple seconds and stand up. What I'm gonna do is triples, I'd say up until 90, and then after that I'm gonna see how I feel. So, like I was saying, the interval, 2 minutes and 30, it's not really a factor. I get enough rest to recover and then get my mental acuity back up. But I can't tell you how much it helps. Just push the pace, keep the tempo going. I'm someone who might look at my phone and get distracted, take 4 minutes of rest on accident. My phone's up there charging, and I put it there on purpose so that I don't look at it. I'm not tempted to take a break. If I really want to get snatch work, if I really want to get weightlifting done, I have to have no distractions, and this is the only thing that I'm focusing on. Alright, so that snatch session was actually kind of awesome. After not snatching for a month, not missing anything and getting 110 was pretty nice. So, key takeaways from that: pause in the catch. It will help you get back into shape faster. This movement I'm doing now is a hang power snatch. This one will help me a lot with extension, getting in shape in that moment from above the knees to the hip. It'll get me a lot stronger there. So next we'll do the deadlift, and that will get me in shape from the ground. So I'm using 3 different aspects to get in shape in 3 different points of the lift. This is how I train my athletes. This is how I coach people. It's incredibly effective, and I highly suggest it.